Your Fine Line vinyl is skipping. So Harry Styles released his brand new album Fine Line on the 13th of December, and people either got it for Christmas, pre-ordered it, or just got on it since it's come out. And so many people were excited to get the vinyl, me included. I'm so happy about this, honestly. One of my favourite albums, it's great. And I got it on Christmas, and I was on Twitter that day seeing who else got the album and what did they think of it, when I saw tons and tons of tweets all about the same thing. The album is skipping. Whether they had gotten the plain black vinyl, the exclusive black and white vinyl, or the exclusive Coke bottle green vinyl, it's skipping. It's messed up like mad. People are tweeting Harry Styles headquarters saying, what are you going to do to fix this? People are getting refunds and taking it back and having the record skip exactly the same as the previous one, and I don't know what's going on. And I thought, I've been in this position before, this is my input, and I just want to help out because I know exactly what you're going through. I've had albums that have skipped like mad, I've taken them back, and then when I get a new one they skip in the exact same place. It's frustrating. I've had it with my Imagine Dragons Night Visions album. It drove me insane. I've even had albums where it's been unplayable, like I've had my Help album by the Beatles, which was a complete mess. My White album on some tracks just skipped, and it drove me crazy. So please, to all the people who have recently gotten record players and Fine Line's one of their first albums they're gonna play, and the album's skipping like crazy, first of all, I just want to say I feel so bad for you. I know how you feel. It sucks, believe me, especially if you have done the effort to refund it to wherever you got it from, gotten a new one, and the exact same thing is happening. But I know what the problem is. Now, from the tweets I saw, it looks like the majority of the people who have this problem are playing their records on suitcase type players. So this is either like a Crosley Cruiser, a GPO, a Victrola, anything that's a record player that looks like a suitcase. Now don't get me wrong, I totally see the appeal in them. I remember before I had a record player, I really wanted one of those suitcase players because you can get them in so many different colours, they're quite affordable, you can carry them and take them around, they're really portable, they have built-in speakers. What's not to like? They have 3 different speeds. This is the thing though, their tone arms, they can't be adjusted. So it's either the tone arm is either too heavy on your record, which means it starts carving it up, scratching it, and that's no good, or it's too light. And I think this is what's the problem here, because if it's too light, then it can't handle the vibrations or the way that a certain record is pressed, which means if it can't handle it, it's gonna jump across and skip across the record every time there's so much as a beat. Then you might be thinking, well, only this album skips, all my other albums play fine. And that might be the case, you know. Records are pressed differently in different ways. Some records might have more bass, some records might be more compressed, and some records might be louder than others, you know. Records are very different from each other. But a good record player should be able to play all different kinds of records, no matter how they're pressed and no matter what is in the actual record. So the fact that your record player can't handle this particular record, it's not a very good sign, and it's really annoying. You deserve a record player that can play all of your records, not only a select few. So the main issue is your tone arm. You can't adjust the weight of it, which means it's going to skip. Now, I have seen on Twitter people advising the old penny on the tone arm or the penny on the needle trick. And this is something I am definitely aware of, this trick, because I used to do it all the time. Basically on my White album, the Beatles White album, my favourite track, While My Guitar Gently Weeps, skipped constantly, and it annoyed me so much because I paid £40 for this album. So what I did was, I didn't put 1, I put 3 pennies on that record player, on the tone arm, to try and get it to play through the record. And you know what? To a certain degree, it did work. And actually, it did reduce the amount of skips in the long run. However, please do not think that is your solution solved. Because I have seen a lot of people being like, oh brilliant, all I had to do was put a penny on the needle and now it plays fine. That is a very good short-term solution, but if you do that in the long term, it's just not good for your record. It really isn't. Like, a penny isn't a good way to fix your tone arm adjustment. It just isn't. Honestly guys, the best thing you can do is upgrade to a better turntable or record player. And I know that sucks, especially if you've just gotten a suitcase type player for your birthday or your Christmas, or it's all you can afford, and I completely understand that. But if you can invest or save up and get one in the future, it will really solve your problems in terms of this, and it will really benefit you. I had a record player that wasn't a suitcase player, but the inside had like the same kind of build quality as like a suitcase player, and honestly I had these problems all the time. I had the Night Visions record by Imagine Dragons. I put it on, Radioactive, skipped throughout the whole song. We took it back, got a new one, put it on the record player, skipped in the exactly same places, took it back, got a third version, skipped in exactly the same place. 4 years later, I got a new turntable, I put it on there, Radioactive plays without a single skip. All my albums that have skipped in the past or gotten caught in a loop, new or old, it doesn't matter, they've all played brilliantly, and I promise you it's worth it. It really, really is. Also, I just want to say, I did test Fine Line on my old record player, my GPO Memphis, and it did skip like mad. When I played it on my Audio Technica LP120, it played perfectly. I promise you, there's nothing wrong with the record, it's the record player you're playing it on, I promise you guys. I really hope I've helped in this video. I know it kind of sucks where I've just been like, oh, your record player isn't good, you need to get a new one. Please don't think I'm saying it like that. I'm just saying, I know what you've been through. I've literally gone through 4 years of having so many records play on my record player, and to hear the disappointment where it skips or it gets caught in a loop or something. I really, really know what you guys are going through. So I'm just saying, if you can save up and get a new record player, all your problems in terms of that will go away, I promise you. But I just thought I should put my input in and tell you what's happening, because I think a lot of people are getting the wrong end of the stick, or a lot of people think, rightly so, that it's the record that's the problem. At least that's what I used to think. It really isn't the record. It is nothing to do with Harry Styles or Harry Styles headquarters. It is your record player, I'm afraid. I really hope I've helped, and good luck getting your album sorted. Bye guys!